Hi, participants. We will wait for a couple of minutes for others to join, then we'll begin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining with us for the webinar today. So before we start the webinar, I will quickly introduce who we are. So NSRCell is I am Bangalore Startup Incubator. So I am Parvati from Impact Orbit vertical in NSRCell. At Impact Orbit, we have two programs, Circular Economy and Tech-Enabled Innovations. Within circular economy, we look at sectors like climate smart agriculture, plastic circularity, like alternative packaging, plastic waste to energy, and any alternative materials like construction waste, textile waste, and green tech startups in climate and environment. We have incubated like few of our alumni were a Good Gum, which is India's first plastic-free chewing gum. And we have incubated sunbird straws, which makes straws out of dried coconut leaves. Also, we have incubated Indic Initiatives, which makes handcrafted paper from agri and paper waste. If you feel you are into social innovation but not into circular economy or climate smart agri, you can still apply to our other program, which is Tech Enabled Innovations. Which is a sector agnostic social impact incubation. Under this program, we have incubated ventures like Mantra for Change, which is into education, which works with schools and educational departments to improve the learning outcomes. And we have incubated Miti Cafe, which employs adults with disabilities. So both the programs incubation applications are open. So we'll be posting the website link in the chat box. Please do explore and apply if you feel it will add value to you. And what you can expect out of the incubation program is clarity in value proposition and a business model. And you will also get an understanding about alternative sources of funding and impact metrics. And also, you will be exposed to a wide range of networks. Without much delay, I will if you have any other further queries, you can email to the mentioned email ID. Without much delay, I'm just starting the webinar. So today for the webinar, we will be discussing on the current trends, challenges, opportunities, and innovations in the Northeast startup ecosystem. So we have with us our panelists and moderator to walk us through the Northeast innovations and ecosystem. And now I welcome Nixon Sharma, who is venture capitalist at Northeast Development Finance Corporation Limited. So NetFee, which it's the first dedicated venture capital fund for Northeast early and growth stage startups. And the Nixon is also very much passionate about startup ecosystem across the world, and he has been part of incubators and accelerators across the country. So he's also a startup mentor at Stanford Seed Spark program. And now I welcome Miss Nenetam Hegna, who is founder at Runway India. So they are into handmade art and jewelry. Through Runway India, they also make products from banana fiber. And she has been recognized by the government of India for her contribution in uplifting women artisans. And through her venture, she has impacted 700 plus women artisans. And also we have Lian Sangu, who is founder at Connect, which is an app which offers instant discount on medical bills for its users. Um, and he's also our alumni venture. He comes from a business administration and management background. And then we have a moderator, Mr. Nagaraj Prakasham, who is a resident mentor at NSR Cell. He's also partner at Acumen Fund. He's a mentor and advisor to several startups, and his focus is on social enterprises. And he's co-founder of Native Leap Foundation, which is supporting social enterprises. So, welcome all of you, and thank you for joining in for the webinar today. We are looking forward for a very interactive and insightful session. So, over to you, Naga.
Hey, thanks, Parvati, and thanks for everyone joining in. We have an interesting focus area today, Northeast. I'm sure there are quite a lot of people be wondering and also exploring opportunities in that region as well. And there are a lot of entrepreneurs in the region as well looking for avenues and opportunities to take this wonderful work, elsewhere to the world. I think that's where NSR Cell definitely could play a role. So the Northeast is very, very interesting area, which I was able to travel quite a lot. I think almost have covered all the states except Mizoram and Nagaland. So I had to come and see you, Neng, sometime. Yeah. It provides very, very interesting solutions to the current dilemma or the current challenge the whole world is facing. There are two problems the whole world is facing today that I mentioned in my book, Back to Bharat. But it's about the search of a sustainable future, right? So what are the problem the world is facing is about climate change and inequality. So that is wide open. Whether it's a developing country or a developed country, everyone is facing this problem now. So there is no single solution available today that you can just copy paste and that would solve our problem. There is nothing like that. I think that's where each region, each country is trying to figure out for themselves. A developed country is saying climate change is your problem. Give me another 40 years. Let me pull all my people out of poverty. Once they reach your level, let's discuss. I think by the time planet may be gone, right? So that's where you see this, many of the movies coming in Hollywood. It's all about just ditching the earth, right? So he said, it's too much problem in the air. Let's not worry about fixing it. Let's go find another planet to go ruin. So there is a chase to go to moon or Mars, and all these movies from Interstellar to all these guys talk about going out somewhere and building something, right? So that is where I'm very, very happy. Entrepreneurs like in the panel and across the country, they're taking this problem ahead and then trying to find a solution on climate change and inequality. That is where that social business could play a very, very important role in addressing both the problems, right? Because when we look at the impact orbit, there are some of the social businesses that we've incubated. They not only look at the profit, they're also looking at the people and the planet as well. So your solution is enabling more people coming out of poverty or providing livelihood or able to bring more wealth into the system, or also along with that, while you're fixing that problem, what are you doing to the planet, right? So what did Northeast offered? I think I've traveled across almost 28 states across the country, and that's where the book idea got developed. But Northeast was solving or giving me solutions to very, very interesting problems on climate change and inequality. If you look at today, SDG talks about multiple 17 parameters about what we need to look at in terms of the country's future and having a sustainable future, right? One is about women empowerment. I think NSRCL, we have this women program, one of the flagship program that touched around 26,000 women entrepreneur. But going to Meghalaya, right, visiting one of our startup, one of our nonprofit, we've incubated Sauramandla, working in Meghalaya about grassroots innovations, right? So they go to a village, identify the problems, and then start finding solutions very, very unique to that particular village instead of, quick cut an example of take something worked in the south and apply in Meghalaya, it won't work. So that's what Sauramandla has done. It was very interesting in William Nagar. There was a collector's office, Swapnil, and he made the collector office into an incubator, right? So a lot of startups in that region were showcasing their product, and he showcased in the entire collector office, all the waste is collected and all converted. The paper get converted to the files that's used in the collector office. The entrepreneur was housed there itself. The processing was done there also, right? So this is a great example of how the entrepreneurial spirit is expanding across the country. And just few kilometers from there is Balmaram. That's where I stayed in East Garo Hills, where I came to know about the matriarchal society. Even today, the society is following. So while we are talking about a women empowerment in terms of developed countries, even talking about it, the most developed country in the world, US, not even having a women president yet, but East Garo Hills Panchayat president is a woman, right? And it's been followed like thousands of years. A man get married into the women's house and he moves in, right? The elder daughter takes the responsibility, youngest daughter takes care of the property. So this is what about the solution to this inequality and climate change on the SDG, women empowerment. There is a solution in Meghalaya, right? That has been existed for thousands of years. We've forgotten about it. So that is what I mentioned about how Bharat is giving solution to the current problem. But if you look at about other thing on in the same place, these Garo Hills, about regenerative agriculture that we talk about, they follow the Zoom practice, right? The Zoom cultivation. So they find an area to cultivate, and on the entire village, cultivates in the region. After a few years, that space is left fallow. So they move on to the next area so that for the land to regenerate. So that is what today's world people are talking about, regenerative agriculture. People in East Garo has been following for thousands of years. So like this, every opportunity that we have in Meghalaya has a great potential because there is a clean air, there is a lot of environment. So that is where in East Garo Hills, morning breakfast, there is a 75-year-old man offered a breakfast in his small hut. It is no electricity, right? It was beautifully built, amazing one. So this is what about we need to look at in terms of where the development is going. If you look at today, US GDP is almost 7 times more than India's. But if you look at their per capita emission of US, it's around 6 times more than India. If carbon is a new gold, who is rich, right? I think that is where Northeast has huge potential about they preserved the nature. There is nature everywhere. A lot of people living with the nature, with less, taking less from the planet, right? If we calculate the carbon of the person living in the village in Balmaran, and my carbon, your carbon, and somebody living in New York and London, and he is rich. But what we tell to them that the way they live is wrong. They come out, become like people in city in Bangalore, and then go back to the village or in a hill area for 1 week camping. That is awesome. But if you live there for 365 days and you're considered as not developed, right? So this is where I think Northeast is a very, very unique position. The development happened in the South cannot be applied to that. That's where we need amazing entrepreneurs like Neng and Leon is required, where Nixon is doling out the money. So that is where we want to talk about today. I think NSRCL in the book also I mentioned about the story of Sauram Manla today, who's running youth centers in villages where they're exposed to multiple skills that whatever their choice, they can learn about it. So there is no need for them to leave the place to learn. And then Elijah is one of our MBA alum of IIM Bangalore, and he's from Senapati in Manipur. And he came here to just leave the country, settle somewhere. But after seeing all the agri startups in NSR, so he changed his mind in his 2-year course. And today he's back in Senapati working on wild apples, right? So that's he identified 23 agri-produce that nobody in the country knows except people in Manipur. Right? 30% of the wild apple is consumed, 70% is not even picked up. It is tough to do. So he spent 2 years analyzing wild apple and worked with the ICR system, developed a candy out of it. Now he's exporting to UK, right? So this is about every region has a unique strength, and identifying the strength, the mapping into the new age, new world. I think that innovation is what it's going to help. And I saw about, somebody from Assam working on black garlic. And I'm sure Manipur's black rice is obviously well known. It is fetching a fantastic price. So this is where there is plenty of local wisdom available. How do we take that to the world with the modern technology? Like, for example, I was in Northeast Handloom Commission in Guwahati, where they were experimenting with this technology, because today Apple cannot protect its innovation. There is knockoff for every products available, but how about our weavers, right? How about our crafts? So that is with the technology by Kosha. It puts a device in every loom. It captures the geolocation because the device is attached to the loom. There is a QR code is given. You weave the QR code with the fabric, and then when you scan it, it'll tell you who made it, where it's from. Geo identification is done. Authenticity is proven. Now he's looking at even calculating carbon, because that fabric is made by hand versus what is carbon consumption when they do the power product. So that is a technology that Northeast Handloom Commission is adapting and giving away these devices to thousands of these weavers in Northeast region for to prove that authenticity of these products coming from Northeast, right? Similarly, there are various of these initiatives, and Nixon is joining from Netfee. Netfee spends all their CSR into crafts, right? So last time when I was in Netfee office, I was gifted a banana shirt, right? So this banana fabric is woven with the cotton. It's a fantastic shirt, looks like a silk, because Assam is having the Asia's largest banana market. And that is where again find local strength and identify what is that waste coming out of it. Can you make products? Then they were working on a cardamom fiber as well, right? So a lot of innovations happening on the craft side also. So that is where Neng is working on. So let's switch to Neng, and I will ask her about her journey. It's very, very interesting about what she's able to do, like Elijah, right, who came to IIM and got all the knowledge, but I think he doesn't want to leave the country or go somewhere else. He went back to his village. He said, I want to go help my people as well. So that's what Neng has done as well. So hats off to her, right? After studying in Delhi University, and she realized that I can do better things at Dimapur, went back and working on banana. Just tell about what you're doing next. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Yes, I think the new generations are very mindful about like coming back to our roots and then working to develop the ecosystems that we are living in. So I've been one of it, and then I'm very proud of my journey, though it was such a very challenging one. I came back to my home state in 2010. Yeah, and then I started on my career. Like I started with Dabur India, then I worked with HDFC. So we were the one who set up the HDFC live office in I mean in Nagaland. So then I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So that's when 2011 was the start. Like I should start my journey. So I started with a store where I was just giving the platform to our local artisans and all. and we started with the jewelry. So jewelry, it's something which is abundantly available. I think all the tribals in mostly in Nagaland, I'll speak about Nagaland, like in every nook and corner, everybody can make jewelry. But then nobody, like there was no system of doing the business. So I thought, like, why not, we should really tap this opportunity. So I created this business model, and that's how, like, we started giving employment to the local artisans. And but I always had this mind in my mind that why not we should do something which is like some tap the natural resources that we have, that abundantly we have in our place. So I was really very much inspired with one of the organizations that work on natural fiber in Kerala. I happened to meet them in one of my, like in export show. So then I realized that, like, why not in banana fiber, because we have abundant bananas in Nagaland, but there was very much little access to information. So 2000 I started, but then again lockdown, and then there was so many time, but then we took the opportunity to really study deeply on it. So it's a very slow process for us at the moment, but we are working on the capacity building. We found out that it really impact the whole ecosystem. Like it in the value chain, we have the farmers, we have the artisans, we have the women, we have like so many, like uh, there in it's impacting the whole ecosystem. So we thought of, like, why not we also be a part of it, and then impact the whole the value chain that we have created. So that's a, like, in very short, I'm just giving my introduction, the background of what I am doing. So we have been working on especially with the women artisans, and it's not limited only to women with banana fibers, but banana fiber, yeah, but we are like specifically focusing on on women. So like I have already mentioned that right now we are like fully on the capacity building. We have been training a lot of people, not only from Nagaland, but from Manipur, from Assam, from Meghalaya, and then we have been getting a lot of inquiries from other states as well. So I find it a very good opportunity for collaborations. And then likewise, we have also, like we have been thinking of there has been an opportunity where we have been approached for collaborating with Kauna grass, which is very well known in Manipur, and with banana fiber. So these are the things that we are working on. And then likewise, we also want to see, like, there's so many. When we talk about banana fiber, more than me, I am very sure sir will know much better. Like, there are immense opportunity, so we want to explore it. We want to work on it, and then explore, and then really, like, collaborate with other people who are into this ecosystem. So yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
So yeah, this is yeah, if you have any questions, then you can
Sure.
ask me.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Nang. I think that's about what I was talking about, the local strength. So let's start looking at about every region has a strength, and taking that strength forward, applying the modern science technology. That's where we can, stay ahead. If you look at in the book, I mentioned about this initiative called Grama Moliga in Tamil Nadu, where the state flower of Tamil Nadu, the seed is being used in Siddha for thousands of years. The seed price went up 1,000 rupees a kg, right? Even went to 2,300 a peak. So they're kind of wondering, why suddenly the seed has been used for many years and nobody really kind of wondered about what is happening. But suddenly the price goes up. Then this Grama Mulige trying to figure it out. They realized that there's an Italian company found a treatment to cancer, the chemical in the seed. Then the price went up to 2,300 rupees. So this is where about there is a lot of wisdom in our roadsides and a lot of knowledge there, but we are just missing out and looking elsewhere. I think that's where the Northeast has a tremendous potential. Where when I was in this both Assam startup when it was initiated by this chief minister, and also Meghalaya startup initiative with the chief minister, I've told both of them same thing is about Northeast should look at development completely different, like high-end tourism, where, people should be paying quite a lot to come there. And only the value-added high-end agri-produce should coming out of it. If anything grows in the, plains, that should not be grown in Northeast at all, right? Just look at very, very unique product. That's what Elijah has done. He found out 23 produce that is available in Northeast. There's nowhere else available, right? He just picked one product. He's working on 22 to go. So that is the opportunity about applying the innovation. What is the innovation? He looked at after the season, the product is not available. So he worked with the ICAR system in Impal, tried to find, dry fruit and made a candy out of it. So that is what applying the value addition, applying the technology and science so that you can take the knowledge forward. The second is about the carbon, what I mentioned. That's what I was telling. I was joking with them that entire Northeast to probably charge the oxygen tax to the rest of us in the South, because preserving all those trees is what really producing like a lot of oxygen for the whole, probably the region in that part as well. So this is a base we can look at, but at the same time, so there is the other part, what we always look at is about, if you look at India's, the poverty lines, one of the top reason people fall in poverty is a healthcare expense, right? So what do? They probably postpone visiting a doctor and afraid of about the expenses and all the things. That is where I think Leon came up with a fantastic solution about how do we solve this problem so that people are not afraid about the expenses, and try to provide opportunities to them. And also there are insurances available, but it's available to people who can afford all that, right? Big insurance companies are not able to create a system reaching out to that every part of the line. So that is where he found a very unique opportunity about providing health support to the people. And let Leon talk about it. Leon based in Manipur and coming up with this fantastic initiative for the people in the region, which is accepted pretty well. And he's probably expanding across the country as well with this wonderful solution. Yeah.
Thank you, Nagas. I really appreciate the time and opportunity. And hello to Ning. And I think Ning team would be, how it is pronounced. Yeah, my name is Leon, and it is a wonderful introduction that you gave. Yes, for me, Connect is something very close to myself because it is completely, people judge me because what I do was driven by emotion. When my father was diagnosed with cancer, then that's when I learned how hard it is to cope with unforeseen medical emergencies. And the lifestyles, I mean, if I have to go back a little bit further as to what to relate to what Nagasar have mentioned, my father used to this genetic, which is one sort of medicine that actually like heal his stomach whenever it feels uncomfortable. And then he has done so for I don't know for how long, maybe 5-6 years. Had he actually gone to a hospital, and then his liver would not have gone into cirrhosis, and which later turns into hepatitis, and that in itself causes a form of cancer. So that was how the entire things happened. So and then the thing that clicked in my mind was, all right, so uh, trying to find out the root cause of the problem, and that mainly was avoiding, healthcare due to the cost that is associated often. I mean, when we interview over 200 people on the ground, and that's why we started building Connect. Initially, we started with a discount card, trying to reduce the out-of-pocket health expenditures. And then the COVID happened. And then we realized that this is not going to be sustainable. And that's why we built, a mobile application. So to actually, I mean, about the product is basically, it's a mobile application that will provide access to credit for medical emergency. However, that alone is very simple. I mean, if you say like, we are providing a loan for medical emergency, so that everyone have access to timely medical care. But there is the untold issue that actually within the target segment of a low income segment, which we're targeting are people who earn below 15,000, who are likely to be denied access to credit by financial institution. So what we do is that we help these people, help them financially prepared to cope with such unexpected medical emergencies. Now, there is another problem which we didn't realize when we actually venture into this, and that is that these people are new to credit, and then they more often, they are vulnerable. So our lenders, the likes of cashier, our lending partners, are very reluctant in giving a loan to such profile because that's a high risk. So you have to come up with, okay, how can we mitigate the risk? So that's why we again go to an insurance partner, which we currently tie up with Aditya Birla to mitigate the risk of NPA. Because now the insurance company, actually what they do is that they reimburse up to 30,000. So that 30,000 amount can be used to repay the loan which is taken to meet the immediate cash need. So that is one set of mitigation, and that's why our app is built in such a way that actually mitigate the risk even in the event of borrowing it from a lending partner. So that's how we actually build it. So the journey in itself for me is very challenging because when we initially started, it was everything was hard. I mean, you don't get to actually build overnight. I mean, people say, all right, build a projection. And then I don't know, I don't even know what projection was. I used to work in Delhi. I worked with Midland Credit Management as well as Astra Medical Billing. I understand, I mean, being corporate, workers, and then getting a salary at the end of the month. That's what I was used to. But building a projection, pitch decks, and risk mitigation, and what are the SWTO and everything was completely learned. But now the reason why I'm sharing that is that given the of support such as IIM, Bangalore, NSRCL, such support, the mentorings and the guidance and everything, I think it's very imperative for people like us in the Northeast, really need it. And I would also wanted to appeal it to people who could actually guide people from the Northeast. Should also there are abundant opportunity with respect to agriculture, with respect to our, I don't know if any one of you have tried our cucumber. It's soft. It's not something that you actually come and have it post your dinner. It's it's not crunchy at all. It's soft, sweet, and then oh boy, I wish I'll bring one for you, sir, when I visit. But yeah, that's a lot of now you've mentioned about the black rice, which is very sticky and very tasty. Those are, and then the product, a lot of things. So I would say that had it been a case that we have this kind of support back 5 years ago, then I think a lot of startup or a lot of venture would be, very much beneficial for people like us. And then now that we have the opportunity to be supported by the likes of, like I've mentioned, and the Sarcel and other incubation centers from the expert mainland, from the metro cities, it is very much needed for the people in the Northeast. And so I like to thank, everyone who supported us and guided us to where we are. And with respect to our expansion, yes, I'd probably take this as an opportunity to reach out to Ning, take him, and then try and see if we could actually collaborate and give their artisan the emergency coverage. So that's how we do. So yeah, we definitely worked with some of the artisans from other parts of the states from Notice as well. So this is an opportunity for us, and yeah.
Awesome. It's a great initiative, Lian, about the healthcare expenses, because healthcare, any issue, it doesn't just give you warning, it just happen, right? Just people end up in hospital and this payment issue, they run around mortgaging their house or jewelry and all that. So giving them immediate support to just take care of it, I think that will definitely ace the thing. Otherwise, in a moment of need, if they're going to ask for support, money, and people are usually take advantage of the situation, right? So end up losing assets for a low values. I'm sure what you're doing is really fantastic. It's only Northeast. I'm sure the entire country, a lot of people would definitely take benefit from this. So there is a question about, is there a problem statement? It's mentioned somewhere else, right? So I think the one is about, if you look at, I don't know, Niti Aayog had a list earlier about, but they were looking from each department, problem statement. It's like a demand, right? It's like a reverse pitch from different ministries, putting out a list of problems for people to solve. But I always say, I'm sure if you've seen some of my videos and all, I start the question with the entrepreneur with the two question about, right? So can you hear the sunrise? That's what I asked about. Because if you hear the sunrise through the bird chirping, you are listening, not only seeing, right? You are very, very sensitive. So when you're sensitive, things around you will start bothering you, right? If you're not sensitive, things around you won't bother you. You won't look at the problem at all. Even if you look at, you'll become indifferent to the problem, right? So that is where I think I always say that the number one quality for an entrepreneur to become is about being sensitive. Whichever the state, whichever the city, whichever the village you are in, if you're sensitive enough, there are thousands of problems around you. Every problem is an opportunity for you to solve. So you don't need to go find a list somebody is written, but when you find the problem yourself, and when that affects you, I'm sure the resolve to solve that particular problem will be very, very high. I think that's what a lot of people have tried, whether it is in Udyogini. I was in somewhere in Jharkhand, where they're just trying to find the local issue about the lac, right, utilized for making bangles, today utilized in pharma industry. So there is a Resin Institute has a technology. All these entrepreneurs took is take the technology back to the people who are cultivating lac, and it provided them multiple opportunity as well. Or if you take this like waste management problem, Sahas, one of my investment. If you ask Vilma started coming to the sector because she was in her earlier job, took some of the foreigners to Madurai Meenakshi temple. The person asked her, why there's a lot of filth in your city? So that's to realize, wow, why, how come there are waste everywhere in across any city in India? She quit the job and she started working on solving the problem, right? So if you are sensitive enough, you would be seeing the same waste everywhere, every day, right? You're going to see this abundant banana everywhere, right? If you are in Assam, there is the largest market, in Assam. You cross that, you'll see how much waste thrown out, right? So does it bother you? Right? That is what entrepreneurship is all about. Don't wait for a list somebody to hand it over to you about I'm going to start working on, but you become sensitive. Listen to the ear, listen to the sunrise, and increase your sensitivity. There are thousands of problems around you, and that is where the opportunities for problem to be solved as well. So Nengni, there is a question about banana fiber, right? How do you process? Can it be done in Bangalore? There is some question around.
Yeah, hi. Yes, the process is very simple. For the crafts, especially for the crafts, it's very simple. So it can be done anywhere. It can be done in Bangalore as well.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you're making a rope out of the fiber, right?
Uh,
You just spin it and make a rope and use that in your bags and stuff. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. So there are multiple on banana, right? One is about what Nagni is using in terms of taking the banana stem, make a strand and spin it. You'll have a kind of a rope. You would make baskets and all that. So what the fabric is made is about, you just take this banana stem, crush it, and mix it with the sliver of cotton, and then you start spinning. You'll have a banana fabric. I just got one of for another startup in women program. She just got me a banana fiber shirt, right, which is mixed with cotton. So the yarn has both cotton and banana fiber mixed. There is one available as well. That's this organization called Ratai, right? She teaches loom to school children. So the Northeast, what they have done is about, they take this strand, tiniest strand possible, tie it together. You have a yarn, and you just weave the yarn directly, so it looked like a silk, right? The shirt I got from Knitfee is about banana. There's a 3-4 line of banana lines going around. I know the cotton, right? So that is another way that you can do the processing of that as well. There is quite a lot of organization I've been working on. Industry Foundation has done in Bangalore, creating this rope out of banana fiber that made this banana fiber based home decor possible. I think you can definitely go visit them and learn from that as well.
Yeah,
So
I would like to mention, like,
yeah, next,
for
go ahead.
processing, fiber processing or craft making, we do give trainings. So all our details will be there in the website also.
You can share your website also in the chat box there.
Runwayindia.in,
Yeah.
or in Instagram, it's Runway. Yeah, you can just, Google it.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Good. Now we have Nixon, right? So I think Northeast, I'm very glad that the people from Dimapur and Manipur solving the local problems, and it is taking to the probably rest of the country as well. So at the same time, so if you look at if there's an entrepreneur with some idea, and if we need to not finding resources, right, he has to leave. So that's the reason I've just founded Native Lead Foundation in Tamil Nadu. We said the villages are getting empty because they're all migrating towards the city. If you have a good idea that people have to go to Chennai or Bangalore, but how do we solve the problem, right? We said no English, no pop-on. You pick a local problem, you solve, we will invest. Who is investing? People from the town. I was in Erode yesterday, right? We had a meeting with the investor in Erode. So entrepreneurs from Erode, there's a local problem. So the turmeric grows quite a lot in Erode, right? So there's an entrepreneur came up with an idea about in a device, you put a turmeric, it'll tell you all the parameters in the turmeric. So this technology was developed in Erode, where this is where turmeric is growing. So it's a local problem, local entrepreneur, and support, right? So we found local investors like successful entrepreneurs in that city to invest as well. So similarly, there is a funding, there is a resources available. The place where you are, I don't think there's a people need to go out and try to do. That's exactly Netfee has done. I always enjoy visiting Netfee. Ashok Das is there, coming up with a lot of ideas about taking crafts. The entire CSR and Netfee is spent on crafts. They have a craft gallery in Guwahati office. There's one in Delhi as well. So Nixon is joining from Netfee's venture team. They have supported many of our entrepreneurs. Elijah, I mentioned, who's an alumni based in Senapati, Manipur, and who is taking Wild Apple to the world, supported by Netfee financially. And there is an automobile. He works on garages, helping mechanics. So he's been supported by Nixon as well in the Netfee. So I'll let Nixon Netfee talk about what are these new initiatives they have. If you're an entrepreneur in Northeast, and what kind of support you can receive from Netfee. Nixon, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nixon. So before I start about Netfee venture capital, but I would like to include a little bit about myself. So while I was studying abroad, I wanted to always come back, back in back in the country to do something. Because back then, this was just 10 years back. So there was no venture fund. The idea of startup was at a very early stage. This was in 2012, 13, probably 10 to 15 years back. So I actually wanted to start something as a business, but then I thought I need more experience. So I joined as an early employee of 91 Springboard in New Delhi back in 2014. Then after that, I joined Incubator, Accelerator to help startups in Delhi. And after that, I joined Traxon as a part of the Delhi chapter. So that's a Ratan Tata funded startups where we help startups to get funding, and then that's how I got into this industry. And so while I was invited to judge one of the event in Guwahati, so the then CMD of Netfee invited me to join this new initiative that they were about to launch back then. So so I always wanted to come back and build a startup ecosystem in the region. As I was learning from 91 Springboard, we have a mentorship program, we have an incubation program, we have different programs, right? And back in 2014, 15, it was a very vibrant startup community where you come to a co-working space, you can meet another founder, you can find another team, you can actually build new startups, right? So I mean, back then we used to have in a day we have 4, 5 to 10 startup mentorship program even in Delhi. So then after that, I thought, why don't we do something like this in Guwahati or in Manipur? So we actually organized Startup Weekend back in 2013. This was one of the first Startup Weekend in Northeast. That is when we invited, scientists from Korea, but from Manipur, these are from Korea, and then people who were working in San Jose were working in Google. So that's how we invited, and then we started building startup system in the state, right? And later, I got sifted to Guwahati to be part of the Notice Venture Fund. So, uh, with my prior experience in co-working, incubator, accelerator, and then traction of deal sourcing and investment, I joined Notice Venture Fund. So back then, we were very skeptical in a way because there were only few tech startups. And we were not just social impact startup, but we were a sector agnostic venture fund, right? So we always have this thought that we will, we'll be able to find good startups, back in 2017 when we launched this one. And today we are very proud to say that we have funded 63 companies. Out of this, 80% is tech startup, and we have 3 funds under Netflix Venture Capital Fund. We have what is venture fund, the first fund. Second is NRL fund, which is an NRL Ideation Angel Fund, and the third one is a state-specific Manipur Startup Venture Fund. So we have a pipeline of starting in different stages, right? So through this, over the years of 8 years, we have invested in, company which is producing biofertilizer from Manipur, Green Biotech. It's one of the Green Biotech ecosystem. They're pretty much doing well. They have expanded in Guwahati, and they are producing most of the biofertilizer, and they're selling it to, West Bengal and other states. So one of the key challenges is, I think, for all the Nordics startups, or I think mostly for tier 2 cities, I would say, in a way that we always try to do an inbound services, right? We get services from outside. Today, it's very challenging to compete in the market, be it for any product, be it for any services, right? There are better products, better services easily available, right? But I think Notice again has an advantage over it because the entrepreneur from this reason, know the space, know the people. But one of the key challenges is from Manipur, let's say, or from Nagaland, or from Arunachal, they are not able to go outside the region, right? Though there are enough uh, good producers, good products, good market, good resources, good raw material, they're not able to scale up. This is one of the key challenges that we have faced, in terms of scaling up, in terms of this. This is where I think IMB and ISL can come in and play more bigger role in helping them. I think today Northeast region has enough fund, to help and to help the startups, to help the ideation stage, revenue stage, early stage, growth stage. We have enough money. So our ticket size starts from smaller size, which is 25 lakh, to 1 CR, which is the medium size, and the bigger ticket size is from 1 CR to 10 CR, right? So that is for the Series A and then post Series. So I think again, Assam startup has a good initiative. Meghalaya startup has a good initiative. I think the governments are helping a lot with the grants, with the subsidy. But what we really have to do, what we really have to find out is, out of this investment or the grant support, how many are actually coming up in a venture, investable startup, right? In case if you support more startups and there are no scalable startup that's coming up with the reason, then it's a big challenge that we have to find out and we have to figure out, because today from we have invested in a company which is a plastic embedded bricks. They are funded by Guhas, they are funded by DLF. They have started their manufacturing from Sam. They have their own manufacturing unit in Maharashtra, Mumbai today. We have been there. The founders are from here. They have started their services in Bangalore and Andhra Pradesh and whatnot. So we have another company called ERC IKEA. This is again funded by World Bank. So they cater their services on the lower pyramid of the society, where They provide cataract service at a lower price because of the high prices that the hospital charges. So they were born out of necessity. So again, we have Jome Foods from Nagaland, wherein they provide pure honey, and we also have different uh, tech companies. Some of the startups that I have mentioned is in terms of social impact, but we also have startups which is acquired by Qualcomm tech companies, and then we have in last couple of years, I think the whole ecosystem has changed in the Northeast region. The government support the ecosystem, the co-working space, but I think we need more than the financial support and institute. We think we need more, services where they can scale up, they can, an incubator and accelerator, not for the early stage, but for the growth stage incubation. This is what we need for tier one or the Northeast region. I think these are some of the challenges that I would like to put forward, so that we can actually discuss. But besides that, we have been funding different styles. NIL is again coming up with another new fund. We have Manipur Startup Fund. We have been sourcing for some time for good startups. We are always open for investment. We are happy to discuss. So if there are any founders or entrepreneurs who are willing to pitch their ideas, you can always pitch to me. I'll throw my email ID. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Nixon. Supporting 68 entrepreneurs. That's really amazing. I think entrepreneurs in Northeast just get contacts of Nixon and start bombarding him. So he can give you 1 crore each. So that's a good part on the resource side. I think they're very good. They also can do debt or equity both, right, Nixon?
Right. So we do provide convertible note as well, but debt is also and FP has been providing debt for some time.
Can you be just closer to the mic? Yeah, repeat, please.
Yes, we do provide both convertible note, debt, equity.
Yeah, understood. Great. Thanks a lot. There are a few questions, Nagni, for you, all about banana plant. So is there a technology? Is there a particular banana plant? It's needed to do any processing. So can you get some technical details on banana?
So what we are doing at the moment, it's very semi. The process and all, like whoever wants to know, like I have already told, like they can all contact me. We also provide the trainings about how to process the fiber and how to make the craft. So we are actually concentrating only on the craft, and also we work with companies and brands, and yeah.
Okay, right. So I think there is a net fee detail is shared on that, and you can definitely reach out net fee. They do have some banana fiber. They could maybe share some details. Reach out to Nengni as well. Her website and LinkedIn is shared. So you can maybe reach out to her as well, more details. If you want to procure also, I'm sure she'll be able to connect with people there locally for you. Anybody want to procure that banana fiber and take that
Yes.
forward.
And
So
if they
Nixon
want
one,
to visit
sorry.
also, yeah, if they want to visit also, they are most welcome.
That's the best. Go visit. It's a lovely place. Go visit, and then that's a good way and increase tourism as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's good. So the one question, Nixon, is it only for entrepreneurs from Northeast will you fund, or if somebody started in West Bengal but they do have a operation or support Northeast state, and would you still fund them?
Yes, but but it has to do something with notice. The impact has to be in notice. Either they source their raw material from notice, or either they have their services and offices in notice. So we are open for that as well.
Okay, great. Perfect. So that one of our IM student asked about procuring fabrics. Can you help Nengni? You have any local connects on procuring fabrics from Northeastern states?
In Nagaland, we have still not doing this fabric. I think Netfee can help. We were also we also not collaborated, but we were also one of the beneficiary from NetFee CSR. Yeah. And then regarding the fabric, we are also working on it at the moment.
Sounds good. So, so one of our IMB students, she wanted procuring fabrics help. Just reach out NetFee. They do have access to all the crafts organization in the region, and also that the fantastic gallery they have in Delhi as well. What's called Nixon Crafts Gallery, right? Yeah, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yes, craft gallery.
Craft Gallery. Where is it located in Delhi?
In Delhi, I have to check.
Yeah, so that's one in Delhi. There's one in Guwahati as well. You can reach out to the website. The other part as well, you can reach out also Northeast Handlooms and Crafts Commission. I think they'll be also will be able to help you, connecting with the weavers and the craft organization there. If you need a particular fabric, we do have few entrepreneurs. There is Margaret in Nagaland who was part of our last women program. She works with the crafts in the region of Nagaland. In Tripura, we have Silpa Karman, that's another entrepreneur who was part of our earlier women program. They work on bamboo crafts, and she sent me my name engraved bamboo flask. It was really amazing. So we can probably connect with some of these entrepreneurs as well who could help you. There is also GoCoop. That is one of my investment. GoCoop do work with a lot of Northeastern states. So if you need any fabric that you can take it. If you're in Bangalore, there is a GoCoop exhibition is happening now this weekend in JP Nagar. You can go visit. You could maybe see some of the weaver directly. So GoCoop brings the craftsmen across the country directly to interact with the consumers. So you will go to GoCoop website or Instagram, you'll find where in JP Nagar it's happening this weekend. So you will meet at least 20 plus weavers and crafts people across the country from different clusters will be there. If you can put a request to them, if there's nobody from Northeast, you can maybe request them to connect. I'm sure usually I see from Assam that somebody will be there. You can go meet them as well. There are multiple avenues that is available for you to connect with people in Northeast in terms of procuring fabrics. Yeah, right. Awesome. So Giloy processing. So anyone in the panel have an idea about Giloy yet? Giloy processing? No.
No.
Okay. So this Giloy, if you have, that is a very interesting herbal. It is used in Siddha as well. It's a very good antibiotic. So if you're in Bangalore, there is an organization called FRLHT. It is about preserving, traditional medicinal plants. I think they will have information about every herbal mentioned in Ayush, all the 5 traditional medicine scenario. Every herbal utilized this details are available. They're preserving germplasm of those. All of them, it is documented very well. So you can, it's in Yelahanka in Bangalore, you can go or maybe visit their website. They'll be able to provide any detail about any herb. They are around 5,000 herb mentioned in Ayush. They can provide details to it. So that'll be the best place that you could probably visit and get an idea about Vilai as well. All right. Okay, great. So someone else also answered online. Then they can help you with sourcing. So probably take down their contact information as well. All right. So this. I wish to start a craft related business in my native. So Nengni, can you answer? Somebody wanted to start a craft related business in their place in Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu. And she's asking, how do we go about it? Yeah.
Yeah, we can help you. Again, we provide the training. So within the training, it's a very what do you say? The training, how to process from processing the fiber to making the craft to how to start the business. So these are all beautifully curated by our team. So you can reach out to us. I think our information has already been shared. Yeah, you can reach out to us.
Okay, great. Any information about lotus fiber? Any idea, Nangni? No?
Lotus, I think it's done in Manipur. There's a lady, I don't remember the name,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay.
She's
Perfect.
doing.
So
It's
they
a
reach out to Nangni. Her contact is there. Runway India has been shared. Please reach out. I should be able to help you with Lotus Fiber as well, right?
Yeah, I have some
Also,
friends. I can
yeah.
get the contact if you want, but I'm sorry I forgot the name of that lady.
You
Yeah.
can probably, they will reach out to you. Yeah, you can
Yes.
probably respond to them. So if you want more detail, also reach out NSRCell. There's a women program. We had a lady in somewhere in Kashmir. She had around 10 different fibers that she's been working on, from pineapple to rose petal to all that. She's making infant wear using all these alternative fibers. I'm sure we'll be able to connect with her as well. Reach out to the NSRCell team also. Yeah, great. So this Nixon, coming back to you about
Yes.
any trend you are seeing in terms of innovations coming from entrepreneurs. You have seen 68 entrepreneurs in your region. Any interesting innovative trends that you are seeing now that can give you advice, probably give guidance to some of the want to be entrepreneurs for them to look into?
Right. So, in the investment, in terms of social impact, we have the lady that we just mentioned, that Lotus Fiber. Her name is, Vizaya Santi. Right? So she has made jackets, has made clothes, has made sold on Lotus Fiber. That is one of the. But in terms of investment, we have seen a lot of more into the tech side of it, more of AI, more of more of B2C brand companies, one of the companies that was featured. One of the featured, one of the company that was featured in Shark Tank. Both of them are from Sam, so they have a huge B2C brand. So they are into the actually it's a huge investment for the company, and they've spent a lot on digital marketing. They produces, they manufacture in Delhi. They have a Gen Z clothing, so they do. In a day, they sell around 27 lakh, right? 27 lakh per day. So they can sell 3 to 4 CR in a month. So that's one of the investment that we are involved with. One of the innovative business startup that they've come up with. And other than that, we are very sector agnostic, right? So we have, I think before I specify startup, I think one of the challenges or one of the feature or the quality that entrepreneur needs is to identify a specific problem, right? So sometimes, we have to actually see how big is the problem. So the bigger the problem, probably the bigger the market size are, right? So one of the challenges that we face is, or one of the solution that we see here is, these are some of the solutions that has been available in the other part of the country, right? Anyone can just come in and start, right? So you actually have to see what are the advantages that you have, what is the competitive analysis, what are the, can you actually scale up, and if it's, so you don't actually have to raise funds, if you think that you are not going to, scale up at that point to that large. So that is also fine, right? So one of the key thing is you have to be very price specific here in the country, right? So these are some of the solutions that you have to look for. Thank you.
Awesome. That's great, Nixon. I think Nixon shared his contact as well, email ID. Parvati, can you share that with everyone as well? So that's great. So there was a question about the CSR Connect. I think someone asked about. There are a lot of platforms today available. There is CSR Next and all. I think there'll be an opportunity for a look at CSR. Even there is a social stock exchange is created now to raise funds through them as well. So you can maybe learn. As it was mentioned in the introduction slide where we talked about the program benefits as well. So you'll be covering about different funding scenarios option as well. So you could also apply to this program. That'll also help you to understand more about various funding opportunities available for you to explore. So that is on the CSR side. So there was a question. Someone raised the hand. I think Satya Narayana. You can maybe put in the question. What are the questions that you have, so that we'll be able to answer to them. So I think we are just getting closer to the closure of it. So Nengni, one last comment about what is exciting to being a entrepreneur in Northeast. What's getting you out every day?
It's me.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, it's. I think it's very content to see how you are impacting the lives. It's not just the business, but then how you are able to make the change that you are talking. You are always like you wanted to do something, and then you are always like talking about the change in the society and all. But then, like working in the Northeast, in my state, I can see that happening. Like that's so content. Like I can sleep peacefully at night, and then I can see that I'm making a difference in the lives of the people. So I think that really make me want to work more and more. And then also I would like to taking
Awesome.
this
So Lian,
platform. Yeah, taking
yeah,
this platform, I would like to encourage all of the attendees here to come and collaborate. Like we are very open to it, and then I think through these collaborations only we can able to really make a larger impact. And then the innovations that we are talking about, whatever we are talking about, it will be possible only when we come together and work together.
awesome. Absolutely. Thank you very much. That's a fantastic thing. In today's world, collaboration is the key. And you offered a lot of people to help connect with various other organizations. That's amazing, Langley. Lian, so what is this challenge being an entrepreneur in Northeast? One challenge.
I would say that the entire understanding of the entire ecosystem, how it works, would be the challenge, because most of the people in the Northeast, even till today, will be mainly depending on a government job, or even actually by even paying a bribe, right? That's
Okay.
how, I mean, it's no difference in Nagaland. Madam Tim would be able to, confirm it. I mean, doesn't matter. So, building up the business,
Yeah.
with knowledge. I mean, because people often would actually kind of treat business as a very risky, sort of like career, and would want to actually adopt it, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
one of the challenges.
Great. Thank you very much. I think that is where, with the challenge, with the excitement, what both of them mentioned, that's where the opportunity for the entrepreneur as well. There's an excitement and there is a challenge, but that's why you are needed to just go through both of that and solve problems. A lot of these entrepreneurs have done, Sikkim, now, Seven Sisters plus one, right? So the entire state is organic certified. So they've taken a bold step across the whole country to just have this, organic produce for the entire population, right? So there are entrepreneurs helping there as well. There's Parvata Ports helping with about ginger, right? So when I met Anbalagan, who made this possible, he said there are multiple other products I need entrepreneurs for. Sibaktan, they want help in taking that to the market, right? So like this, there are opportunities available. As Nengni mentioned, just make it travel. I'm sure you'll have a lot of opportunities. But if you are in Northeast, or if you came out of Northeast, somewhere in the rest of the country as well, here is another opportunity for you to go back and find a problem like what both Lian done, what Nangni has done, what Elijah has done, what this Divishri about Silpa Karban done, what Margaret of Nagaland has done. Go back, find a fantastic problem for you to solve, so that you can probably make that Northeast build a sustainable future. That's where the great opportunity is available for all of us and for you as well. So thank you very much. Over to Parvati for a close.
Thank you. That was a great session, very insightful and very interactive. Thank you, Naga, for actually driving it in the right way and making it very interactive and for the participants. Also, I thank Nening Tang and Lian also Nixon, for sharing your experience and also your insights from the Northeast ecosystem. And it actually means a lot to understand more about what is happening in that part of the country. And also it's called for incubators and all the startup enablers to actually look more towards Northeast, and also the startups from there to collaborate and make use of the opportunities across. So it was great having you all in the panel, and thank you participants for joining and being with us for this long. Thank you.
Bye bye. Thanks everyone. Thanks guys. Take care. Bye bye.